It's odd to say this, and it might be as odd to hear it, but my goal for you is to become a patient exerciser. Patience in this sense, oftentimes we set goals, like physical goals, like I need to lose 6 pounds, or I need to run this far, or I need to do this much on the rower, or I need to lift this much weight, or whatever the goal may be. And the goal is somewhat far in the future to where, hey, am I going to achieve that goal that I've set? I need to achieve this goal because I set it, or I need to read more books, or whatever the goal is that you set, because it feels good to set goals. It does. It makes us feel like better people. But my goal for you is to become a patient exerciser. So you don't just set goals because they sound good. I want you to set goals because they feel good and because you know that you will achieve them. So a patient exerciser is an exerciser who sets small goals that says, today I won't snack. That's it. That's the whole goal. And they're patient, and they know by the end of the week they want to lose 1 pound. Say, I'm going to win this day. What do I need to do in order to do it today? What's going to really add up? What's going to make it inevitable for me to reach my goal? No snacking. That's great. What do I need to do? If I need to snack, drink some water, eat some X, Y, or Z, something to replace it. But there's patience, and the strength from patience, my hope for you, comes from the fact that you're not intimidated by something small. You're not intimidated by small goals. Breaking it down into smaller units that are easy to measure, that are ridiculously achievable. So you can measure it, you can definitely achieve it, and that some way, by the end of the day, you have a way of recording your wins and losses, so you either scored points because you got it, or you did not score enough points. So it may be measurable in these units, like I did not snack today, I snacked twice. I could have snacked 5 times, but I didn't, so I get 3 points for not snacking. So essentially, a patient exerciser is somebody who just is a little bit more casual about their goals, makes them very clear, and you can definitely do it every day. You have to have some way of being accountable for it. That lets you know, where do I land? Am I closer or further away from doing what I need to do to be a patient exerciser, setting these small goals, these small ways of winning? Because really, this sort of patient operating system, this sort of way of doing it in the world, like an application on your app, this is the way to get things done. Is to set a small goal that you can definitely do. So what's the opposite of a patient exerciser? Impulsive, reactive, too big, too broad. I'm going to lose 10 pounds by the end of the week. Well, what are you going to realistically do to lose 10 pounds? I'm going to exercise every day. That's great. You might be so sore you can't sit down or stand up at the couch. Or you might have to stand up at dinner because you can't sit down. I'm getting rid of all the junk food. Yeah, you might need to do that. But the point is, you make it into smaller, achievable units that you record daily. Your wins and your losses. All right, out of 5 times, I only lost 1. All right, 20%. 80%, I won. That's my goal, 80%. So my hope for you is that you become a patient exerciser. You look at it, you break it down, and you say, what's going to make it inevitable? So if you wanted to run a marathon and you were new to running, what would make it inevitable that you could run a marathon? Well, that you ran or walked. Like you can run or walk somewhat close to that distance. That you can manage your heart rate, because if your heart rate spikes, and then it drops, and then it spikes, you're not going to last the full time. So some control over your heart rate, your breathing, you have some breathing capacity. So each one of these things you can train. Run or walk, some form of meditation or quiet time, to be able to work with your breathing, to work with quieting your mind and your heart rate, or specifically training your breathing. Breathe in Exhale out, hold it out for 5 seconds, and then breathe back in normally for 10 seconds. Repeat that 10 times. What makes it inevitable to run a marathon? That you have good shoes, so you resource shoes, that you can recover. So after you do a certain number of miles, you can make sure you can repeat those miles in a couple of days, because that's how you're going to build up those long runs. So you can break those up into small wins and set them up in a 7-day or a 5-day bracket. Monday is going to be breathing. Tuesday, I'm going to walk, run this many miles. Wednesday, I'm going to practice my recovery method and see if I can find a good one. How am I going to measure my capacity to recover? Thursday, I'm going to make sure that I didn't eat any snacks on that day because I want to have a light, longer run on Friday. So you're just thinking, what's the goal I want to achieve? How do I break that up into smaller achievable goals that make that bigger goal inevitable? And then you break it down into ways that you can count it, the repetitions. You look for the fraction. You have 6 times, 6 opportunities to win today. You won 2 out of 6, so a third, 33 point something percent. You did a great job. All right, so next week, you're trying to increase it to 50%, 3 out of 6 times. Because you're keeping the same small goals. The ones that are going to make it inevitable, you're going to reach your big one. And you're patient. You're not impulsive. Patience and persistence wins when you match it with a program. You can be patient and watch the grass grow. You can be persistent and run and run and run and run and run and not know anything about running longer one day, running shorter the next day. Running less the next day, you might want to rush into it, but you gotta be patient. So my hope for you is that you become a patient exerciser. If you like this video, check out DominicSessa.com, sign up for my newsletter, sign up for my YouTube. If you're on my newsletter, thanks for being here. We'll talk again soon.